Well, welcome one, welcome all to your wonderful program here, Sankofa, with your host, Maponga J. The program is Sankofa, looking backwards at the future. And if you remember very well, on our Monday drive, we had two gentlemen who came to the show to be telling us more or less the expectations of the young man in our modern society when it comes to dealing with the female and the women in the society. And as I promised you on Monday, that on Wednesday today we'll be having a lady, and I would not find a better guest for you again but Princess Lorna from the greater Embo Kingdom. She is the right-hand woman to King Bongane III. And for that reason, I thought maybe we'll just do a small little cultural conversation into the quality of women of the past, the quality of women in the present, and the type of women and the society we want to build into the future that we're going for. As we are sitting around today, the society as it is changing. Family structures are changing, parenting skills and strategies are changing, politics is changing, and all these things, all of them put together, have a direct impact on the home, on the family, as to what kind, what type of children are we bringing up in the society, and what type of a society are we creating for the future. And for that reason, I thought I would bring a genuine woman into the studio in the 21st century who can take us through as a woman, in the backdrop of rape, in the backdrop of abuse that is happening for women, and all other ills that the society is piling up. Remember, every time there's injustice in the society, it will end up with the most vulnerable, which are the women, the children, and the disabled. But these people are now being victimized by those who are also being victimized. Is it possible that the cycle of evil, the cycle of abuse, will translate itself from one person to another? Is it true that the abusers actually give birth to fellow abusers who will also live the same life of abuse? Where do we stop? How do we rectify? How do we correct this society with all its ills that are there? And today we want to hear a genuine voice from a sister, a genuine voice from a mother, but above all also a genuine voice from a princess who can take us through some steps as to where are we coming from, where are we now, and where are we going. Please show some love, share some hearts with my honorable Princess Lorna from the Embo Kingdom. Greet the people out there.
Greetings to the viewers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Princess. Nice to have you in the house. Let's start at the back. Let's start right in the way where you're coming from. In terms of the old ancient ways of bringing up a family, bringing up children, before we can even split them between boys and girls, what is it that used to happen in terms of building up and growing up children within a homestead?
I would like to first, Master J, introduce myself. I am Princess Lorna from Babirwa Glen, and adopted by Chancellor King Bongane III. Hi, Dad. As you say, I am the CEO of Lorpen Investment and the founder of Lorna Foundation. We are all about the uprising of a boy child. The reason, interested topic about the upbringing of a boy child, the upbringing of the children in general. We have a challenge as in our African society. Children are born like a book. When you buy a book from the shop, the book is empty. What do you write in the book?
It's your story.
It's your story. We as parents, we as women, we write the stories in our children's mind. If I give birth to two babies, that will be a boy and a girl. It will not be two babies, but it will be a boy and a girl, meaning even the treatment that I will be given to those children will be very different. When they are growing up, there's two animals inside a child's mentality. And whatever you feed grows. So if a boy child, I buy two bicycles, remember I have two children. Twin. I buy them bicycles. Both of them, when they are riding their bicycles, a boy child falls. He comes to mommy crying. I say, no, don't be stupid. Boy, don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
Wipe your wounds and go.
Even if the blood is, I can see the blood. No, boys don't cry. People will laugh at you. Your peers will laugh at you. But the pink one,
The girl.
in a pink bicycle, when she falls, I run, grab her, show her love. Mentally so, the blood stops because she found comfort and love from the mother. What about that one that is sitting right there at the corner?
Feeling unloved and uncared for.
No, I have to be a boy. Boys don't cry, even if it's hurting. The uprising of a boy is just wrong, literally.
You are suggesting, or rather you are intimating that the way we bring up the boy child and the way we bring up a girl child is not the same. Women, the girl is given more chance and freedom to express themselves, whereas the boy child is actually maybe put in a space where he must bottle up his temper and etc. How does that manifest itself when they are grown up?
Let's look now. They are growing up and they are at the puberty level. They are at 13. Money get lost in the house.
Who is the first suspect?
Who's the first suspect?
It's the boy, of course.
Why?
Because they have other things to do. They look like busybodies.
Exactly. Because that's how we raise them up. Even when the girl child do something wrong, she know that I've got an upper hand from my mother's side. I'm daddy's little girl.
Protection.
Even if they find the seed of wheat in someone's pocket when they are doing laundry,
The first suspect.
the first suspect is a boy. So when you treat them like that, they behave like that.
Like that.
You treat them like an animal, they behave
Like
an animal. Tomorrow when they behave, they start behaving like real animal, then we become surprised. Who is this? Who are you?
Maybe help us here. Help us balance between the role of a father and the role of a mother in terms of bringing up these children. Just as a mother, when you look at this task that is there, I have a comment. If you cannot bring them up, don't bring them in. And it takes two people to make a child.
It takes two to
So I'm not even excusing anybody. I know due to employment and other things, men must be running up and down. Women also have joined in the thing, and children are left basically to be maintained, not to be brought up. But in your own world, when you're looking at the role of women and the role of men in terms of bringing up children, what would be your technical advice in terms of that regard, as a mother yourself?
As a mother, as a single mother of 3, the role of a mother and the role of a father are equally important to the children. Children need both parents. At my age, at 44, I need a father.
You don't look 44.
I need a mother.
You don't look 44.
I'm a fitness trainer.
Okay.
I'm a fitness fanatic, so that's why I keep myself.
You keep yourself like.
Yes.
All right, guys, you need some some trainer here. We got a trainer in the house.
Yes. So both parents, they play a very important role, and both children deserve to have both parents, because when babies are made, it's not one-sided.
It's both of them involved.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
When you realize that you need to have a baby, or you have the urge of having a baby, you should have an urge of raising a baby, of being present, because babies, our modern people, the society right now, we have that thing of making money to take care of our children. Children, they don't need money. They need love.
They need love.
And love from both parents, a father and a mother.
Let's punch a hole right there. In the modern society, particularly on the legal side, where the principles of the law when it comes to custody of children, actually the legislation or the laws of the land actually give the women the upper hand in terms of looking after children. And now mommy takes the kids Mommy has got a new boyfriend in her life. Mommy, in some cases, wants nothing to do with the ex-father. Mommy, in some certain instances, changes the surname of her children to her own surname or to the surname of the new boyfriend. Mommy does not want the children to interact with daddy. When the timetable is drawn up of when, there's always excuses as to why the children cannot spend enough time with their fathers. And there's already in the background. I'm watching the situation you've just brewed in the past as to how these two kids are brought up. In the event they end up in a home again, which has these complexities. And now a boy child is being brought up now by a mommy in that environment. And the mommy is actually making it difficult in some certain cases for the other partner to be involved meaningfully in the bringing up of their own children. What would be your advice in such circumstances where we've had men who are screaming and crying that all they want is to spend time with their children? But the mother now, from where she is, I have moved. And I have moved means I have moved with my kids. And you are now behind. How would you begin to rectify and give some advice in that regard?
That is a very... I'm against it. I've listened to the radios recently, men crying. Someone saying, that is my only child. The only thing that I want is to spend time with my child. You cannot do that, because when two elephants are fighting, the grass is the one that gets hurt.
The children are suffering.
The children are suffering. And I saw a story recently, I shared it on my Facebook page, where mommy have a new boyfriend, and they started doing dealings with drugs in the US. Then mommy can't pay the drug lord. Now the guy comes in, mommy gave the baby, a 5-year-old baby. With the picture, you see the baby being carried for $200. The child was sold, the child was raped, and the child was killed for $200.
Wow, I think that's getting quite touchy there. A mother selling the child for $200 because of drugs and etc. When we come back after the break, we start looking at the slay queens and the trips that are happening in Dubai, where modern women in Sandton and etc. in some of the cities have joined the wagon of prostitution in the name of them maintaining their homes, and how is this impacting the society at large? Don't go away. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back. With me on the hot chair tonight is Princess Lorna Ndo from the Embo Kingdom. And she's taking us through some paces, the expectations of mothers in the societies that we're living in. And just before we went for the break, there's a new culture now that is happening here, particularly in the modern cities. This is Kampala, this is Nairobi, this is Harare, this is Johannesburg, this is Cape Town. I'm not isolating any city at all. But all we are reading about now is this new trend that is happening, the issue of the slay queens. And these slay queens are modern, progressive, educated women who are having three roles, so to speak. Some of them are mothers at one level. They are professionals on the other end, and they've gone to become professional again on the other upper hand. as escorts in terms of getting the life that they need. Apparently, prostitution in Dubai and the United Emirates and some of the countries around the world has become a lucrative business. We've seen pictures on Twitters, on Facebook and Instagram, young girls holding stacks and stacks of money for selling themselves, almost like commodifying themselves. But of course, it's their choice. We're living in a free society. But I want you to look at this concept, this idea of the modern woman, with the pressure that she now has to face up. She must have the right makeup. She must have the right hairstyle. She must have the right clothes. She must have the right handles in terms of the right phone. She must have the right things, and all these things that she now requires. By having these things, I'm just speaking as a man, she thinks when she has all these things in place, then her marketability will be parallel to the people that have interest in her as a person, to build a home with her, which has resulted in many times in many of our girls actually becoming street kids. We've found and had some of them stuck in countries where bills were not paid and other things are happening. And you maybe give us some advice as a sister. You have a sister who wants to become a slave queen, who is a slave queen, who is actually now on the great flight between Johannesburg and Dubai, raising 15,000, 25,000 a weekend, doing prostitution. What do you say?
Let's first go back to us as a parents. I have two beautiful daughters. Mm. Every morning I wake up. When I wake up at the villages, I wake up and start cleaning, and then when the girl child is sleeping, I wake her with the noise. Mm. I make noise for her to wake up. Mm. And what will the noise be? Mm. Who's going to marry you? Mm. Did you see the neighbor is coming from Gauteng, and then you are still sleeping? The influence that we see from parents, from young parents, like me, I'm a parent. It is bad influence. Me coming in and out as a single parent with boyfriends in the house, my children are watching. Me kissing the boyfriend on the couches, hugging. It's interesting, right? Because if I'm laughing, that means it's exciting. My 13-year-old is watching me, and she takes after me. But what she will be doing, because in my culture they say, "Lea bela lea fitela," meaning whatever the mother is doing, whatever the father is doing, the child...
Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do, and monkey will exaggerate.
Will exaggerate.
And the level that I'm putting the bar high. And then she's not going to take a quantum like me.
Not take a truck.
She's going straight to Emirates.
So do you feel the girl child is under pressure?
Under a serious pressure, the society, the expectation. Imagine a child just get a role here for sweeping and passing through the camera. They see her on TV. That is pressure. That is pressure enough for her to make sure that she keeps her standard. How does she keep her standard if she only serving food at the restaurant? There comes Master J with his Mercedes-Benz latest. And then the old mama there want these girls, they are selling these girls for this old man. I know, I have read the books. There's a place here next door in Sandton where the girls just flow in. And then when you come in, you take your clothes off, you take your shoes off, you go bath, you smell nice, any colony that you want. They put beautiful clothes on you. And they sell you like a goat going to the slaughter. And when they take you to your Dubais, trust me on that one. We have seen it everyone that is on social media, I'm lucky because I'm a young mother. I'm on all.
You're up to speed.
I'm up to speed with everything. I watch them like a hawk.
You're on a mother like this who knows.
I watch them like a
how
hawk.
to check all
My job is to find people. You see them, men doing things, men making their mouth like a toilet, doing number 2 in the mouth of a girl after giving them 10,000. You can imagine. They even take a video, they do rituals with them. Trust me, even in Sunnyside, I'm in Pretoria, even in Sunnyside, they say ladies, when they go to see this drug lord, what, they go without panties. You know why? Because they take their panties, they take their pets, if you are on your menstruation, they do the rituals with them. So it is that bad that you're selling your soul, you're selling your everything, your body, your spirit, your soul doesn't belong to you.
Wow, that's quite another hick there. That some men of the girls would think that they are heading towards success. Meanwhile, they are heading towards serious rituals that are complicated. 6 feet under. And this issue of rape and stuff that is happening on the community around there, let's retrace our steps a little bit. In your own world, when you're looking at the amount and the numbers that are in the police station when it comes to the abuse section, is that picture a true reflection of what is happening in the society?
A big no. No in this aspect. Every day at the police station, cases are reported. 300, 500 cases of rape are reported. By who?
By the girls.
By the girls. Trust me when I say, out of 100 girls, 25 boys are being raped. But the cases are not reported. Remember when we first started, I said, boy, child, don't cry. So when recently, I cannot mention people, but recently, 2 friends came to me. I'm talking about men, like you, Master J. It was a very sad situation when you see a man crying because he was raped at the age of 10. And the picture is still vivid. And when he goes to school, the auntie baths him. And the auntie plays with Nono. And then when he comes back from the school, the auntie rape him. And the auntie tell him, nobody's going to believe you. And really, 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 nobody's going to believe him.
No one believes.
And even if he just decides to go to the police station, the police will laugh at him. That is our society. How cruel we are. Imagine a man going on a rampage, killing 40 women.
The psychology behind
One man. There's no fear in it. There's you should have an inner man. You should have soldiers guarding you. When you are hurting somebody, when somebody is calling the mother, when somebody says, please forgive me, you should have sympathy to them. But imagine somebody becomes that heartless.
This monster has grown.
When the man told me that, you know what, Princess, I am big. And that woman, she's weak. And I am strong. And when I look at her, I see myself strangling with my bare hands. That's the amount of anger that was put in that child. And what will society see? At the end of the day, we see the end results. We don't see the root. If he kills the auntie,
the one who was raping him.
The one who was raping him when he was young.
Now he's grown up. He's a big man now.
He's a big man. He's angry at women. And we say gender-based violence. And we forget that gender-based violence should not be one-sided. We should be transparent, and these things should be spoken about. We should talk about these things in our families. To say, when a woman touches you in an uncomfortable manner, you should speak out. But we don't do that.
For all genders. For all genders.
For all
I think you're
genders.
bringing something very important, and I think very, very critical, that we needed to have a balanced way of looking at our society, both on the male side and on the female side. That evil is evil. It does not. We cannot classify it and end up coming up with men are trash, and then women are the victims. But when you look at it again, right in, like you're saying, when you go back to the foundations of these mishaps that are happening, they're happening to all children. And as a community, we are breeding. We are breeding one group that is able to talk. No wonder they can go to police station and report. One group that must just cry and coil that anger. And the day they will have an opportunity to express themselves, it comes up in a totally different way that confuses and even embarrasses the whole community. It's quite a.
If I may add on that, if you want to see how a man hate his mother, because my boy, the first picture of a woman that comes in front of him. If he hates me that much, he's going to hate every woman that he comes across. So when you see the child treating a woman like a queen, the wife like a queen, or the girlfriend for that matter, because they have girlfriends, like a queen, is because he started treating the mother like a queen.
I mean, I've seen like, because of my own diverse way of looking at things, I've seen a young boy clapping the mother or fighting with the mother and beating up. And I was there in this particular instance. The boy, I think, was about 3 or 4 years old, and he's busy boxing the mother. And I actually grabbed him by the arms, to the shock of the mother. And I looked at the boy and I said to him, "You don't
do that
to your mother." And he wanted to go back and beat the mother. I said, no, you don't do that. But already you are seeing that the mother is a tolerance over such small little behavior that is beginning to manifest itself. But he's still small. And he can get away with beating the mother. He can beat the sister. You can be sure the next bus stop is the girlfriend. And the next bus stop is the wife. And the list goes on. Because when a habit is not snapped, when it is young and an arm it is spanked when you are still early, you don't do that. You actually build up that monster slowly until they become these wild animals you're talking about.
And then when they become wild animals, we say, what? We don't know them. Whose child is this? Take, for instance, right now we have a lot of babies. You know, a baby, in the today's language, they call bundle of joy. How many bundles of joy right now when you get out of the street that you see at the road?
Sniffing.
Don't you think these children were not born by a woman? Wow. They fell from the sky.
Hold it right there, madam. Hold it right there. I think today is quite touchy. It's quite emotional, as we are looking at what we have done right and what we have done wrong as parents, in particular as to the way in which we are bringing up our children and creating the new society that we are looking for. And these children that are in your hands today, tomorrow they're going to be someone's wife, tomorrow they're going to be someone's husband. What type of a future are we building for ourselves? When you come back after the break, we shall maybe take some few tips from Princess Lorna as to some of the basic things every parent must be doing in terms of bringing up their own children. We'll be back right after the break.
God is so amazing.
Feel the heat.
The Bible says that through his death on the cross, we are now reconciled with our Father.
Forgive and you shall be forgiven.
So wherever God takes us, we're just excited about it.
As a child of God, where you are, you must have an hour of prayer.
Feel the excitement.
In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus.
I believe that God is working right now.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
You said you love me.
I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't! Get out of my way! Get out!
That is an abomination.
Oh, the love you promised me.
Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah?
Feel the excitement.
You don't know how I've been longing for this.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Welcome back, and we are discussing a very sensitive issue today along the lines of the ills that are happening in the community, particularly focusing at the way in which children are being brought up. And while I was on break, I was just scrolling through some of the messages that are coming through, and some young gentlemen are also admitting that they were also molested when they were young. And this molestation happens usually through relatives, through when uncles visit the home, and they go and sleep in the same room where the boys are sleeping. And some of these uncles have weird appetites. They end up molesting these boys, not only in our own homes, even uncles molesting the young girls in the homes. And even worse still, some of our cultural rituals in terms of the circumcision and the assignments which boys go in terms of getting the rites of passage, both on the male and female section. You find that some of the things that are happening in these initiating schools leave a lot to be desired. And I know in some cultures it is a no-no. You don't talk about what happens when we go in Tabeni. You don't talk about what happens there. What happens in the mountains remains in the mountains. But later on, when all these things begin to play back into the lives of the young people, the young boys and girls, they come back from a place of initiation with a totally different personality because of the events that they will have gone through them. And you being a custodian in terms of a cultural center, such as the Embo and the kingdoms that you may represent, possibly maybe to be a good question to throw in there, as to, are we aware of such mishaps that are happening? And if ever we are aware of them, what are we doing in terms of making sure that these initiating schools and these environments actually become safe, both for our boy child and our girl child?
I am very much aware of that. And I am very much aware of, I've never been in the mountain. I see it happening. What is happening when a baby comes from the mountain? It doesn't matter how old the baby is. The boys start to have that attitude from hell. I don't know what they teach them, but I know exactly what they teach the ladies. Even though I was not initiated, but as a royal one, I went inside their room at Tumbeni when they were doing their initiations. And what they teach them there, sorry my king, but what they teach them there, according to me, is totally wrong. Why? When the child is on her cycle already, a girl child, they teach you how to please a man. They teach you all your sex positions that you should be doing for your man. What is it that we are putting in our children's mind? A boy is coming from the mountain. He went there innocently. When he come back with this boldness, this bully. He becomes a bully in the house. He see everyone, including the mother, as nothing because he's a man. They told him he's a man in the mountain. Now he comes and then he claims his position as a man in the house.
He becomes a man.
He becomes something else that we didn't bring. I don't know what they do at the mountain, but I know exactly what they do in the women's side.
Yeah.
In the women's side. And I even question it. Even this.
Is it your feeling? Is it your feeling that some of these initiating schools, instead of them giving a holistic kind of education, they end up zeroing in only on one aspect of being a woman, which almost prepares them for sexual activity, rather than the entire full framework of being a useful citizen, and with everything that goes in the business, for example, agriculture, for example, you know, critical things, because you cannot just leave initiation knowing which position to sleep in sex. Rather, I think there's a gap right there in terms of the quality of information that we are sending to the young boys and girls. Because the boys also might be told, now that we have cut your tool, in some certain instances where now a boy must be told, just to check if your weapon is now working, you must now find a girl that you must experiment with. You know, look at that information in the head of a young boy. See a few moments later that translating itself into teenage pregnancy. See that stuff translating itself into HIV, translating itself into all sorts of complications, and see the impact again on the girl child, because the boy can get someone pregnant, you still continue this school. So I'm trying maybe to focus at this quality of education. And here on the other side, a girl who has been taught how to do positions meets up with a boy who has been taught how to use these weapons, and we put the community there as an experimenting bed. What sort of chaos are we breeding there?
Oof. That's why in the Embo Kingdom, we are building a school that we will be teaching these children African way of doing things. Remember, we are the people that are not dwelling in sin. We are not supposed to be sinning. We have nothing to do with sin. But the schooling that is happening right now, it is the wrong, it puts the wrong information in our children's mind. You look at the girls, the only thing that they know is to please a man. And nothing else in the brains. That's why they want to marry the rich guy, because the rich guy is supposed to be providing. We're supposed to be bringing the agricultural aspect in the child. We're supposed to be bringing, you know, for you to find out, because I believe every child, when the child is born with a gift. But the richest place is in the graveyard, because people left this world without knowing what their purpose is.
Wow, you're kicking up quite some dust there. I want us maybe just to backtrack while you're on that again, as to the modern woman. What is she looking for in a man? The modern woman. Here's a young lady, gone to school, college, university, give her a first degree and give her a starter pack, a Toyota Corolla or a Corsa, parked outside, or a Golf. She has made it to this level. When she goes out to look for a man, what is she looking for? In the minds of the modern young woman.
In the minds of a modern young woman, they are not looking for men. They are looking for what you have. Because the woman is supposed to be submitting to a man. A man is supposed to be loving
to the woman.
A woman. But it does not work like that. You look for things that are attached to a human being. That's why when a man falls down, the woman ran away. Because it was not a man that I was looking for.
The things.
It was the things that was attached to him.
This man.
But remember, when you come to the world, you come naked with nothing. So if I want you, I have to see you as you are.
There are even proverbs in our culture that says, "Ubuhle bendoda inkomo zayo." No matter how ugly the man is, as long as the man got his cows, the man is handsome.
So do you see where the killings are coming from? Because now you will be spending 5,000 rand on my hair alone. And then you will be spending 10,000 rand on my clothing. And my makeup is 5,000 rand. Then the next thing, you find me with another man on the road because he saw me, I was beautiful because of the hair that you bought. You see where the killings is coming
Plus
from.
my cell phone.
Plus your cell phone.
Plus I'm paying for the car.
Thank you.
And now a boyfriend is driving.
Now a
my
boyfriend
car.
is driving your car.
I find messages to a boyfriend on my phone. Though I bought it for you, my phone.
Because I was not looking for you. I was looking for what you have.
Clarify it for us. So this issue of the commodification of women, for example, because now there are commodities that a boy must have in his bag when you are looking for a girlfriend. You need a Peruvian hairpiece, you need an iPhone, you need a small little credit card for clothes, and where possible you also need to pay some monthly installment on a car, that is whatever. And the boy must have these things when he's approaching a girl, because the many girls will look at you and say, can you afford me? That's the issue. And you ask, what can I afford? Are you for sale? No, you cannot afford my lifestyle, because that's what we're being told. So it almost sounds like to a modern young boy now, before you can find a girlfriend, you need to look into your pocket and look at her, because you already find her from Dubai with a shopping list, Zabo Vuitton, Zabo, Gucci's and etc. Stomach out, tight little blue jeans, red bottom shoes, and she stands there and asks you a question: can you afford this?
The question that you should be asking as a man is, can you afford yourself? Women will tell you that they need a man that is driving, while she doesn't even have a license.
Jesus.
Kanjani? How do you ask somebody if he can afford you?
Are you for sale?
Do you understand?
I'm with you.
Can you afford yourself?
Can you afford yourself?
No. You find out there's Mkulu Banbani, they call them sugar daddies. It's an old man, plain and simple. It's not your sugar daddy. It's not your daddy.
There's nothing sugar about him.
There's nothing sugar about him unless he has sugar himself.
He's got sugar diabetes. She says unless he's got sugar. That part I understand. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we modify the stupidity. We should be, as women, talking about how can we make money. How can we own farms? Government is giving farms away. We just need to make a proposal to go as women to say, yes, we are previously disadvantaged, we are young, we are prepared to get the boots on and get our hands dirty and work for our money.
You're saying something very critical, because the society which we are building, which has deliberately placed women on the receiving end and men on the giving end, does that build the imbalances that you're talking about?
Very much so. Very much so. I mean, if I want to be married to a doctor, don't I have brains that I can become a doctor myself? What stops me from becoming my own millionaire? From becoming that billionaire that I'm dreaming of to marry? I can do that. So those are the education that we should be. Okay, that is the correction.
Yes,
that is the education that we are going to be giving our children at Embo Nation.
Yes. Every child must work to achieve for themselves.
Nobody's coming to save you.
That which they want to become, so that you don't run around town looking for people to give you what you cannot afford yourself.
No one is coming to save you. You should save yourself, because even the twins, when they come to this world, they come one by one. You came alone. You will live alone. So that's why you have to stand up. Dust yourself.
Let's throw this one as a curveball. Now you have the girl child. Bring the girl child to work. Bring the girl child to this. Girl child, and opportunities, tenders, work, scholarships, You know, if two people go to apply for scholarship now, a boy and a girl, there are chances that a girl will get it prior to them. If a job is coming up, you know, the gender issues. Okay, let's place the women where they must be on the 10th floor. And the boy child is still crawling on the 2nd floor, 3rd floor. When the girl on the 10th floor wants to get married, may I ask you a very simple question? On which floor are the boys? And what sort of relationship will happen between someone who is now on the 10th floor and marrying someone who is on the 2nd floor?
The relationship uncut, you know? I'm going to say it like it is. The relationship is going to be something else. Because now Susan is on the 10th floor. Mary Simon, that is on the ground floor. You know, as the society, women has never rise to see them on the upper hand. They never seen themselves as at the upper hand. Just like I can say gays. When they do things, they exaggerate. That's why we find the Simons, our Simons of today. Even now, if you go to the Shebins somewhere, you'll find a Shebin full of men. Because a man is running away from Susan. Because Susan, it's like the popcorn machine, chatterbox. You know the mosquito? Have you ever slept with a mosquito? The whole night will be told what to do, who were you with,
what you can't do.
The car mileage, how far did you go? Let me check your cell phone. Because Susan never believed that she will be on the top.
There is a story I must share with you, true story, of I won't mention the name, very successful woman in Sandton, who now is on top of the food chain, so to speak. She goes to Alexander and hires her Bentons, 2 or 3 of them, who apparently must service her wherever she is. The danger broke up when now these Bentons, now they also want to get married. They also want girlfriends who are their size, their age, and they also want to build homes. Now, Uko Gongapa, because she's paying the bills, could not stomach the fact that Ama Pentenake were now dating. There was a rumor, her beating up those boys, taking away the cars that she had bought for them, and losing her head over such issues. But again, we're talking about women now in positions of power. And with the power, how does it manifest itself? And some woman said, yeah, that's 50-50. When men also have money, they've gone ahead to find young girls. Now on this other side, we also have women now that have money also. And they're now renting up boys also, 2 times their children. And how do we balance this up?
You want to laugh, you'll laugh at this one. Because this boy, it's a friend of mine. We were in the same business. So this old woman was feeding the boy with business. Because remember, all these old ones that are about to go on pension, they are on the top there in our department. So this one was feeding this young man.
Some tenders and work.
And we thought this boy, like, he's amazing.
He's doing fine.
Like, he's amazing. Like, he's the best.
He's making loot.
Yes. There comes the time when the boy has to go and do the service.
Yes.
And
service the tenders now.
And then he comes back. Then he started not to having business again. And then I sit down with him as,
What happened?
I flow with the boys. I flow with the boy child. I'm asking him, but you're going down. What is happening? He said, yeah. That woman, she was giving me business as in she's the CFO. But I had to go and pay the bills. When she takes things off, the clothes off, everything fell
to the ground.
On the ground.
My word.
the stomach fall, everything goes down. Then the young man,
It could not work.
the main switch just
The main switch fell off.
follow everything. So it is because one day when I was coming out of the gym, I'm a gym fanatic. Coming out of the gym, this boy comes to me and he calls me Mama. Hi Mama, how are you? I say I'm fine. He says, don't you like Ben 10s? I said, where are they sold?
A young boy.
A young boy.
Asking you to be a sugar mama.
Asking me to be a sugar mama because it is us who are doing this
To these young boys.
to these young boys. So now they are not even afraid to approach us to say, would you like a Ben 10? I said, where are they sold? I said, no, I'm talking about me. I said, I will slap you. I'll give you one varam clap. You will never speak to a woman like that again. But women come to me.
Wow.
So it is us that are spoiling these young people.
And what you're saying is critical because you as a senior mother, you go ahead and you grab these young boys in an environment like that, and not knowing that actually this is your daughter's
Boyfriend.
future husband. This is your son-in-law
Gosh.
on the roundabout. I mean, we're just waiting for reality one day to strike, when a Ben 10 will come home with the wife,
My God.
and you discover that the mother-in-law is your old girlfriend. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. Where do you look?
No, but it is happening even where we were staying before, especially in our location. That when the boyfriend of my daughter comes in, and he doesn't find my daughter because my daughter went somewhere with Lozula, then I keep him company.
The mother-in-law keeps the
The
son.
mother-in-law keeps the son company.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's getting warm in here. I need a glass of warm water to drink. Is it cold water to drink? As we are picking up these arguments, having some conversation around our societal ills, and just maybe having a candid talk around the issue of the commercial issues, the modern societies we are living in, the quality of the challenges that parents are facing in boyfriends, girlfriends, the girl child, rape, abuse, murder, sins and crimes of passion, violent crimes in our community. And our guest tonight is Princess Lorna, who is putting in as a mother, is an open, and you can hear the conversation today is quite candid. And as mothers, when you see your young daughter coming home carrying plastic bags of food, and you know that she's not working, and you know that she does not have money, but she brings home this food, which you as a parent is eating. Where do you think that food is coming from? Just after the break, we'll come and explore the commercial and economic impact and how this society is actually breeding criminals within the society and destroying the future generation through the sins of appetite. After the break, we'll be right back.
China's saying that the latest outbreak is under control.
Feel the heat.
The cabinet has decided to ease restrictions on certain other economic activities.
I don't want to be a white person who sits by and does nothing, so that's why I'm here today.
Feel the excitement.
We are here to unite because what we are fighting for is to stop institutional racism.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Welcome back to your show here with Maponga J on your Sankofa program, and I will allow Princess Lorna to give us some closing remarks in a punchline. One advice, one sentence, your advice to women.
My advice to women is our children are supposed to have a mother and a father. Presence, not the money, but the present of the mother and the father.
One advice to men, all men out there.
Men, You are supposed to be protecting women. Your role is to protect women, not to kill them, not to punish them. If you have issues, there's a line that we will be giving you. You should call and then you should cough out, because bottling in is the way of making a monster.
One advice to the young boys.
Young boys, if you need help, because we are building a very serious school for our boys, and we would like to take our boys to camp with their mothers, with their aunties, and show them love, because young boys need love too. My boys knows that they have love with me. That's why the little one always asks, Mommy, how many children do you have? I said, I have many, because everyone, when they come in, they call me Mommy.
Wow.
So they have a home in Embo.
One advice for the young girls.
Young girls, take care of yourself. Your yoni, it's your wealth. Your wealth, it's your secret place. You are not supposed to go around opening the door for everybody. All the Tom, Dick, and Harry, you are not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be respecting yourself. You're supposed to be respecting your secret place, because that's where your home is. When you have a problem here, you have a problem everywhere. That's why when you have imbalances, they say you're having hormonal imbalances, the whole body react.
Okay.
So this secret place should remain closed.
And that's the door.
Take care of yourself.
Women are the official door into this life. And you have heard it for yourself from Princess Lorna here, taking us through the sacredness of our women and our boy child also learning to express themselves. Parenting roles must be shared between husbands and wives. And stop commodifying yourselves as women. And as men, let's stop buying women. We're not buying women. Let us assist this community in terms of building each other. And this role must be played both by husbands and wives, fathers and mothers. If we are supposed to build the Africa that we want, this Africa is not being taught by TV. It's not being taught by WhatsApp and Facebook. It needs to be practical knowledge, transmitting knowledge, passing out information, skills, and cultivating talents and potential and capacity in the hands and in the minds of the young people that we have. The young people, according to me, they are not the future. The young people are the present. And the decisions that you are making in the present will then affect the future that you are moving into. And for us as a community on the greater environment and platform of Sankofa, we say let us look back where we're coming from. In the midst of us becoming commercial and in the midst of us becoming globalized, let us not lose some of those critical lessons that our cultures had to teach us. It takes a village to bring up a child. And for that reason, let us start creating these villages again, sharing information. All children are your children. And all mothers are our mothers. And all fathers are our fathers. Let us reestablish the role of the community in terms of bringing up our own children. Your host on the program, Maponga J. My guest, Princess Lorna. It's me, Maponga J. Chigaramboko. Garamashamba Huda, Chirana Navana Vevanji. Bogo Huido. Yes, Tisubana Matanga Gugara. Nachigarama ukimatanda no ora chiwichitedza chino gbugba na wana manga walipedo anotamba nacho. Wiramiti ya sose until we see you again. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Don't do what I wouldn't do. If you do it better. Good night.